recognizing extraordinary dedication of Barbara Sobalvarro, President, Friends of Animal Services, and honoring her for 40 years of outstanding service. Whereas Barbara Sobalvarro was instrumental in the creation and passage of Measure A in 1978, creating a local animal control program in Antioch. And whereas Barbara founded Friends of Animal Services in 1979 to ensure the citizens and animals of Antioch have a truly humane, high-quality animal shelter that focuses on a life ethic, promoting the placement of the shelter animals into caring and capable homes, thus ending the practice of elective euthanasia. And whereas Friends of Animal Services has worked tirelessly to secure outside funding specifically for the shelter animals of Antioch through tax-deductible donations from the public, and is one of 4 recipients of the Shirley Perry Foundation Charitable Trust. And whereas Friends of Animal Services continually promotes public awareness for the Antioch Animal Shelter, the value of animal life, and the importance of spay and neuter through monthly advertisements in the newspaper, via social media, and at community events. And whereas Friends of Animal Services celebrates animal life and their commitment to reverence for life by hosting monthly hospitality days to welcome the public at the Antioch Animal Shelter in order to increase shelter pet adoptions. And whereas Friends of Animal Services sponsors adoption fees at various times throughout the year to relieve overcrowding in the shelter, prevent euthanasia, and to assist new adoptive owners with the expense of adding a new pet into the home. And whereas Friends of Animal Services, in an effort to improve the likelihood for adoption, funds specialized in emergency veterinary care, supplies, and equipment that would otherwise be impossible for our shelter animals due to budgetary constraints. And whereas Friends of Animal Services believes in working together to create a better world for our precious animal friends, one in which they are treasured with tenderness and compassion. As Barbara would say, seldom does a heart feel better than when you save the life of one of our animal friends. Now therefore, I, Sean Wright, Mayor of the City of Antioch, do hereby congratulate Barbara Sobalvarro and the Friends of Animal Services on the occasion of 40 years of outstanding service to the citizens and animals of Antioch.
Thank you very much, Mayor Wright and members of the Antioch City Council. I like in the proclamations, I like the part best, I think, where it says, I therefore, Mayor Sean Wright. It says, I like the therefores and all of the wherefores and parts of a proclamation. Thank you so much. This is an honor, very much of an honor. It's an honor, yes, for me, without doubt, but it's an honor for our animals to be kept in such a high priority for the city of Antioch. And we're only beginning. This is just the beginning, and we have a whole lot to look forward to. It's also, an honor for all of the people here in Antioch that have supported and voted for this. This is truly an experiment in democracy that we have had here in Antioch. For anyone that loves the American way of life and loves the democratic process, even though it can be messier, it's far more efficient to have a totalitarianism, but we don't want that. We are a democratic country, and democratic with a small d. And definitely, I'm very, very proud of that. 40 years ago, I stood before another city council, and I made a promise to the people of Antioch who had, by the initiative of Joy, you would remember, and your mother, remember the going to door and going to Rayleigh's and different places, getting signatures on the ballot so that people could vote for this proposition. At that time, the city of Antioch urged us to vote no. And in fact, the people voted 61%, I believe it was 61% yes, that we wanted this. So we're making good on our promise, and we're going to keep our promise to the animals and to the people of Antioch to make it the best possible shelter that we can. And I'm just so honored tonight. I brought us a very special card for the City Council. I'm going to read a short message from this card. And the card is from a gentleman maybe, I don't know how many of you ever met Frank Stone when he was living in Antioch. He was the mayor pro tem. Arnie, I see you saying yes. And he was the first treasurer we had for Friends of Animal Services. And so he sent a card for me to take to the council meeting if I would like. And of course it has a dog on it. He has a little chihuahua named Margarita. And he lives in Palm Springs, so this card arrived just over the weekend. And I'm going to read it to you. Happy birthday. I was at the beginning, and because of work done by friends, this dream has become a reality. Like all nonprofit groups, volunteers are vital if success is to be achieved. The shelter is a great success because friends and staff have worked together. I will speak for the animals. He has a right to as well. I will speak for the animals. Thank you very much, they would say. We appreciate what you do for us. And then Frank writes, keep up the good work. And we promise you we're going to do that. Not only are we going to do that, but during this entire year celebrating our 40th anniversary, we're going to carefully go over our brochure. We have a new brochure right now that Michelle Kuzlik and her husband Chuck produced for us, and we're so proud of our new brochure. And we're going to be going over it this year and making sure that we are really living up to what that brochure. You know, words can sound very lofty and very impressive, and you feel like doing a giant hurrah when you read it. But the question is, are you really doing what this says? And I think when you're a nonprofit group, you owe it to those people that are putting their trust in you and giving you their hard-earned money to make sure that you're putting that money to the use that it was intended. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to just carefully go over everything, and we're going to we are rededicating ourselves, and we're rededicating to all that we want to do for making this the very best possible shelter. And we want to do it together with you and together with the city staff, because that's how things work. A long time ago, it seemed to me that the idea of working together works, because when you work separately, everybody could have the same ideas, but if they're working separately and trying to get at each other for some who knows what reason, could be the silliest reason in the world, but it doesn't work. It just isn't going to work, but we're going to make it work, and we're going to continue to do that. And I just want to thank you again very, very much.
Thank you, Barbara.
Thanks, you guys. I appreciate it. Okay. Thank you. I'd like to introduce, this is Cece. This is, and if you'd like to just say your name and that you like to...
Hi, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Michelle, this is our Vice President of Friends of Animal Services, Michelle